Good evening. Unless someone misplaces the keys between now and May, the 2007 FA Cup final should be played at Wembley. Competing for a place in the semis here at the Riverside this evening are Middlesbrough and Manchester United. You might think, comparing their respective cup records, that the outcome is a foregone conclusion, but recent meetings between these two sides suggest otherwise.
Whiteside shoots, it's there! And set up the ball, scores! Ronaldo! Di Matteo shoots! Oh, what about this? It's Roberto Di Matteo inside 45 seconds. And Rooney has looked at it over. Rooney! What a goal!
Whelan! It's 2-0 Middlesbrough and this cup tie is over.
Mendieta. Oh, it loads there! 4-0! It's a bad day for Manchester United.
All to play for then at a sellout Riverside Stadium. Here with us this evening, Alan Hansen and Alan Shearer, joined by Gary Pallister, who spent his entire career playing for the two clubs on show tonight. So split loyalties, no doubt, Gary, but where does your heart really lie?
I'm sitting firmly on the fence tonight, Gary, I'm afraid. 9 years at United and 8 years at Middlesbrough. Spent years on the terraces watching them as a kid, so it's a tough one, but I just hope it's a cracking game and you know, whoever plays best on the day wins the game. But
I guess it's a tough one to call as well, but with it being here at Middlesbrough, and well against United lately.
Yeah, they've got a great record against them over the last 5 years. I think it's only second to Chelsea. I think they've won 5 times out of the last 12 times they've played them, so they aren't afraid of the big teams coming here. They've made it difficult for the likes of Chelsea and Arsenal and Manchester United over the years, and they'll be hoping to do the same thing tonight.
Absolutely no excuse whatsoever for the two Allens to sit on the fence, except for your next door neighbour and probably what Manchester United do.
I think it'll be a cracking game. I got a sneaky feeling for Middlesbrough today, to be honest. Yeah. I think, as Gary said, they've done well against big teams that come here. Don't come any bigger than Man United. Be a fantastic atmosphere. The stadium will be full, and I think they'll give them a right good run for their money. I do.
I think Manchester United need to get back in track. I really do. They've been winning, but they've been struggling. And if you keep on struggling, eventually you'll get turned over. They're fighting in 3 fronts. The games are going to come thick and fast. They need 90 minutes where they're totally in control of the game, the tempo, and they have a performance that they can come off the pitch and say that was really good. And Middlesbrough will make it difficult for them.
And Sir Alex Ferguson has picked a team that is probably the strongest that he can pick under the circumstances. Obviously, no Paul Scholes, he's
what I've just said. I mean, you know, if you look at that side, it's a really strong side. Rooney's been quiet recently. History tells you that when he's quiet, then you're expecting a hat-trick off him. It's a really strong side. One
bit of news there, Edwin van der Sar, who was down to play, injured himself in the warm-up, pulled a calf muscle, so Thomas Kuszczak takes his place, although ironically he's played in the FA Cup.
I think for the first time in the FA Cup, Manchester United have put their strongest team out possible, which tells a story. I think he's expecting a very tough game here today, and I'm sure he'll get one.
And a final appearance, probably competitive appearance anyway, for Henrik Larsson.
Yeah, he's been brilliant, and all you hear coming out of Man United is that his attitude has been great, which you'd expect nothing less because he's a fantastic pro. I'm pleased he's been here because it's given him a chance to play in the Premier League. His goal record hasn't been great at Man United. I think it's 3 and 12 or 13.
A couple of vital ones.
But I think it's been vital for Wayne Rooney to see a different forward, how he operates, just to see a different attitude within the club.
It's a funny one, isn't it, leaving now? He comes through he was always going to play for 3 months, but from January to March, it's better playing March to May, isn't it?
Yeah, I would have thought
medals.
So, but I mean, the manager, Alex Ferguson, is desperate to try and keep me. He said so on Wednesday night after the Lille game, with the injury crisis they've got, Sahar being out, Solskjaer, I'm sure he's going cap in hand and trying to eke away at him and trying to get him to stay.
Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Let's get a word from the Borough boss, Gareth Southgate.
We know that Manchester United are the best team in the country at the moment, but we don't have to be a better team or a better club than them. We have to be better than them on one day. And we've shown in the past that we can beat the best teams in the country on our day. We've beaten Chelsea, we've beaten United. We know that we've got players who can perform on the big occasion. We've had some fantastic cup ties at our ground, so of course you have to be at your very best and you have to hope that maybe they don't play at their best, but that's the nature of football, and in the cup we've seen in the past anything can happen.
Has Ronaldo tricked his way into getting Manchester United a spot kick here? Well, I think Schwartz has got a good case. There doesn't look to be anything in that at all.
Having looked at the tape again, I think he lost his footing. I think he was trying to make contact with the goalkeeper, which is the way that forwards go into these challenges now. So I don't think he was trying to dive, but I think in trying to get the goalkeeper to foul him, perhaps, he lost his balance. He's a fantastic player, and he's somebody that we'll have to take care of on Saturday if we want to win the game.
Well, there is Cristiano Ronaldo warming up on the Riverside pitch. He may be prone to be prone, but he's quite a player, isn't he?
Well, I think he's a brilliant player that has obviously learned the game. We talked about the tricks and the party pieces, but it's the end product. The cross for Larson the other night was brilliant, and that's what he's all about. Pace-wise, he's just incredibly quick. I think he's probably the quickest player in the Premiership.
Yeah, you wouldn't want him running at you, would you? With all
Pally
that
would just take him down the line and then kick him to bits.
Wipe him out,
But he's a brilliant player, and I think his attitude's really good.
And this is the team he'll be up against today, the Middlesbrough lineup. I suppose it's the two front men that catch your eye. Yakubu and Viduka, hot at the moment.
I think their hopes lie with them two. If them two fancy it today and go out and put in a big performance and they can cause the back four of Man United problems, then Middlesbrough will have a great chance. You shouldn't really say if they fancy it and if they go out, but I think that's the type of players they are on their day. Particularly Viduka, he's as good as anyone up front.
Gareth Southgate appears to have got the best out of these two, doesn't he, Gary?
Yeah, I think so. He's changed, he's really settled on these two of late, and they've really done well for Gareth. They've had a change in the middle of the season. Gareth Southgate sat down with his players and talked about the way forward. They went for a more attacking kind of option, which has served them well, and you've seen in the results it's worked well for them.
Certainly suited those.
I think it's been great management. We talked long and hard about when they had a blip earlier on in the season and they could have fallen apart, but what he's done is he sat them down and the players have responded and responded brilliantly. I still think that these two are vitally important, but Woodgate's got to play well because if you're going to beat Manchester United, your top class players have all got to play well.
I mean, he's done really well. Now I know for a fact that Jonathan Woodgate's hero when he was a child was one Gary Pallister, and I know, Gary, that yours was Alan Hansen.
How old are you two, by the way?
Basically, he was following in Al Hansen's footsteps.
Right. But a great player, Pally.
Yeah, he's been terrific. Everybody's been worried about his injuries. He's missed a few games with Middlesbrough. Basically, he's played a lot of games, and he is a player that can disrupt the partnership of Terry and Ferdinand.
I think that Southgate's handled him particularly well as well, because what they say is that if there's any little niggle there, don't play. And
so you're not going to make any prediction whatsoever. You've made that
still on the fence, mate.
Totally apparent.
I got a little sneaky feeling for Middlesbrough, yeah.
Okay, well.
I've got a sneaky feeling for Manchester United. That's going to shock you.
You do surprise me. It's Middlesbrough versus Manchester United in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup, sponsored by E.ON. The commentators here at the Riverside are Mark Lawrenson and Jonathan Pearce.
Thanks very much, Gary. Over the next 74 days, Manchester United could win the treble or nothing. But all talk of the Premiership title and Champions League must be suspended for the next 2 hours. Otherwise, they could suffer a rude awakening at a Riverside sold out for the first time in 11 months. The place is absolutely jumping. Borough fans remember the 4-1 thumping they gave United here last season. The 2-0 FA Cup fourth-round victory over them 5 years ago. And older supporters still remember with misty-eyed fondness Derek Downing's third-round winner over George Best's side in 1971. Middlesbrough have proved durable in this competition. It's taken them 6 games to get this far. 6 of their last 8 ties have gone to replays. They've lost just 1 game in 14 played this calendar year and haven't lost here since United's controversial victory in December. That was United's 3rd win in their last 4 visits. And they are looking here for a record equalling 25th FA Cup semi-final appearance. But don't forget Borough's recent cup pedigree. League Cup winners in 2004, UEFA runners-up and semi-finalists in this last year. And they can also name an unchanged side for the first time since early December. Arca and Catamol trained yesterday fully, despite picking up knocks at Newcastle last week. Why change things, Gareth Southgate told me yesterday, when we're doing what we do well. And another injury problem for Manchester United, as you've heard. Already without Evra, Fletcher, Saha, Sylvester, Solskjaer, Scholes banned. Keeper Van der Sar injured his calf in the warm-up. Kuszczak comes in, there's no keeper on the bench. Ainsa makes his third start in 6 weeks. Giggs rested against Lille, returns. Among the Borough's subs fit again Abel Xavier and the South Korean striker there, Lee Dong-gook. Chris Eagles gets the late call-up to the United bench alongside Alan Smith and co. Presumably John O'Shea will go in goal if anything happens to Kuszczak. Well, the Manchester United goalkeeper had no time for any nerves, nor should he have any really. He's played 3 times in the competition as Van der Sar's deputy already this season. But up against him, 2 Middlesbrough forwards in fine form. Viduka, 5 goals from 5 ties in this round, scoring in every round. No one's left in the competition with more goals than him. And Yakubu, well, he scored in every round too. Together they banged in 16 from their last 12 starts together. Henrik Larsson, though, aims to bring the curtain down on his brief stay, Mark, with another important FA Cup goal, just as he started his stay with a third-round goal against Aston Villa.
Well, he's just been the ultimate professional wherever he's played, Jonathan, and I am one who is slightly surprised that he's going back to play for Helsingborg, although he's given his word and he's very much a man of his word. I think, as regards to competition, I think it's great today that both managers, Gareth Southgate, Sir Alex Ferguson, have played the strongest available sides. I think that's due respect. Nothing, of course, to do with the fact it's a quarter-final and we might be playing at final at Wembley in a couple of months.
Rob Stiles, the referee there. He took the Borough's third-round replay win against Hull, by the way. United, their first Premiership opponent so far in this season's run. The league leaders have done it the hard way, disposing of Aston Villa, Portsmouth and Reading to get this far. And people talk about modern footballers. Well, there's a nice touch about Manchester United. The entire first-team squad attended the funeral yesterday of 92-year-old Old Trafford tea lady Nesta Burgess, who'd worked for the club in more than 40 years. The Manchester United management made sure the entire first-team squad attended, and I think that is a nice touch. Gareth Southgate with painful memories of Manchester United in this particular competition, of course. He was a young man in Crystal Palace reserves when they were beaten in the 90 Cup final and then suffered in the semi-final at Aston Villa's ground in 1995. And it will be Manchester United who kick us off and underway at the Riverside Stadium as they look this season to pick up a record-breaking 12th FA Cup. This is Carrick to Ainsa. And Vidic, who looked uncomfortable against Bellamy last week at Anfield and suffered a bloody face in the week in the Champions League too. Forward by Ferdinand, looking for Larsson. Ronaldo booed already by the Middlesbrough fans. Southgate couldn't really be drawn on the incident here in December. Said he thought the fans would let Ronaldo know what they thought of him. And Catamol gets forward for Middlesbrough, cut out by Vidic. And here's Rooney to free Ryan Giggs. Rested in the week with an eye on this game. Went the wrong way though and misread Larsson's intentions. Ainsa has it. Manchester United unbeaten in 10 matches, they've won 9 of them. Cut out by young Taylor. And when it came off Downing to Ronaldo, and this is Larsson, he cut it back for Rooney. First chance of the game to Manchester United.
I just wonder whether Jonathan even hit it very, very early. Sportser was ready for it. I mean, on one hand, it's great vision by Larsson, but he's in such a good position here. It's a mistake from Borough Ridge. A lovely little ball in from Ronaldo. Is it worth an effort from there? I think so.
Henrik Larsson, a cup winner in Scotland with Celtic and in Holland with Feyenoord. Now Southgate and Middlesbrough have enjoyed such good cup runs. Since they moved to the Riverside, they've played in 5 finals. This is Giggs to Rooney. Put out by Taylor. And Pogatetz, and his critics last season at left-back. He's filled in at centre-back this season. Viduka. And this is O'Shea. Ainsa. For Giggs, Woodgate tucked up behind him. Now Rooney. Partey. Middlesbrough captain to Downing, Manchester United fan as a boy.
I mean, both teams playing 4-4-2 here, but Manchester United have got Rooney on the left of midfield at the moment, and Giggs almost like a free roll, but playing off Larson.
Manchester United throw. Southgate, Mark was showing me that Jonathan Woodgate plays better against the better teams.
And it's just such a good player, but also a very calming influence as well.
Vidic looks for Ronaldo. Oh, lovely touch to bring it down. Mission control, excellent. Dispossessed by Downing. Fighting back for it. Cut out by Ferdinand. This is Viduka. It's a Manchester United throw to the displeasure of Mark Viduka. Another one-time Manchester United fan when he was back in Melbourne. He used to watch the FA Cup final on television in the early hours of the morning when it was the only game shown on Australian TV. Sir Alex Ferguson with such a magnificent record in this competition. 7 finals, 5 wins. Gary Neville with the throw. Huge experience in this competition. His 43rd tie. And a winner on 3 occasions. Touch for Mark Schwarzer, who was given a special trophy before kick-off, recognising 10 years at Middlesbrough. Woodgate, Catamol, had a bit of a knee injury in the week. Schwarzer away, looking for Yakubu. And now Downing to get it, Gary Neville. Neville forcing him wider and defending well.
It's going to be a key battle, that, isn't it? Very much the provider of the quality crosses down in for Middlesbrough.
It emerged in the week that Stuart Downing used to sleep under a Manchester United quilt cover. I bet the other Middlesbrough players haven't mentioned it to him, though.
And he's recovered.
Play forward by Barnaby, handballs it. Well, Rob Styles well placed. In his last 11 games, Mark Viduka. 14 in 13 home matches this season in tandem with Yakubu. They're down by Pogatex. Woodgate was tucked up behind Larson. Ronaldo.
There's a nice edge to the game, isn't it? Nice pace as well, and Manchester United fans making lots of noise here.
3,500 United fans behind Kushak's goal away to our right. Vidic to Ainsa. And here's Giggs to Rooney. Boateng's there with him. Viduka. Behind him was O'Shea, Boateng. This is Arca. And then Gary Neville, Arca again. Bit of a dead leg against Newcastle at the weekend, but is fit to play, and this is Downing. And it comes to Arca again. Oh, that's a lovely ball back to Downing. Chance for Middlesbrough! And Kushak made the save, and it was a vital one too.
Well, it's an excellent save. He was out extremely quickly as well, Kuszczak. Great ball from Arca. Downing got round Gary Neville. And in the end, Kuszczak's out very, very quickly.
Really good stop from Stuart Downing, who was looking for his third goal of the season. Middlesbrough's only FA Cup ever present this season. Played in low and flat. Back out wide to Downing. Right footed. Away by Neville. A touch by Larsson. Such a good cross of the ball from either side. He came on against West Brom on the right and really made a difference in that replay.
Well, you saw there, Jonathan, right foot, not a problem at all. In fact, his right foot cross was better than his left wing corner.
Woodgate back there, in combination with Schwarzer. Kubu shielding it away from Gary Neville with great upper body strength. To Viduka, Arca, Boateng making the run off him. Shiny challenge was by O'Shea. He got it away, and just listen to the Borough fans roaring at everything. Here's Arca. Neville gets it away. Arca's such a tricky player, and playing these days in a more central position. We're talking about tricky players. Cesar Ronaldo's out. He was buffeted late by Pogatetz. The referee's playing on. O'Shea. And Carrick has it. Ronaldo. Gary Neville. Three men in the middle. Larsson with the flick. Comes to Giggs. Looks for Rooney. Can he get there? Schwarzer was out very quickly.
Yeah, just like Kuszczak at the other end, wasn't it? Reacts to the danger very well indeed.
5 wins, 2 draws in the last 12 games against Manchester United for Middlesbrough over the last 5 years. It's a commendable record. This is Larsson. Woodgate went back with him and got it away. Gareth Southgate says he thinks he's got a good chance of keeping him at the end of the season. Technically, he goes back to Real Madrid after the end of his loan period.
I think there'll be a whole host of clubs in for him.
Giggs with Manchester United's first corner of the game. Firm header away. Drops to Rooney. Wide to Giggs again. And Kubu got across. Barnaby. Hefty player, isn't he? He moves well. He showed his great strength at the other end of the field a few moments ago. Ronaldo. Neville's gone wide. Inevitable step-overs. It's the cross in, the middle by Larsson. Woodgate had a poke at it. Larsson with a touch. Rooney, well played, Manchester United.
Well, that's excellent play. One-touch football at its finest. Just in the end, when it came to Rooney, he didn't really have much area in which to play it in, but it's lovely football, this. Crisp, quick passing, great movement as well. Lovely ball from Larsson to Rooney. Closed down by Woodgate.
Scored those 2 great goals against Middlesbrough back in round 4 of 2005. He's only netted in 1 FA Cup tie since then. Carrick. There's Pogatetz. Vidic comes to meet it. Larsson to Giggs. Stroked to Ronaldo. He was caught. Rob Stiles right up with the play, playing on, and United in the end gaining no advantage. Arca to Viduka. Taylor. Downing. Taylor, one of the many players who came through the academy to feature for Middlesbrough at first team level last season, made his debut in the 7-0 at Arsenal. Barton. He's part of it. His dad Dave has played such an important part for Middlesbrough in that academy. Kubu chased up after it and it's bundled into another.
Yeah, it's a good flip by Viduka, wasn't it? Knew exactly where Yakubu was, and Yakubu just couldn't quite take it in his stride. No doubt it's a foul.
Good understanding between the two of them, Mark. 16
Excellent.
goals together in their last 12 starts.
Jonathan, Viduka has always been one of the best strikers in this league for a long, long time. Just a matter of keeping him fit.
Pogatetz. Gary Neville has time. On by O'Shea. Larson's movement off the ball is exquisite, his understanding. Thanks, this is Rooney. O'Shea into Ronaldo. Claimed the corner.
He claimed the corner straight away, didn't he? Mr. Stiles didn't think so.
Larson's movement.
Excellent, excellent. And it's you know, he is such an unselfish player. That's a great thing about him. And how old is he? 35. So he didn't have to look after himself.
35 years, not that man. He's very young, Gareth Southgate, of course. And Manchester United will miss him. This is his last competitive game. Man of his honour, said he'd go back to Helsingborgs next week, and he's sticking to that promise. Yakubu. Now kicks to Rooney. Rooney still wide on that left-hand side. O'Shea. Vidic looks for Ronaldo. Couldn't keep it in. Manchester United say talks have begun over a new contract. And in one newspaper it could be worth £25 million. But certainly Sir Alex Ferguson will want to keep Mark, a player who is emerging possibly as the best player in the world right now.
Well, he's had a great season as well so far, hasn't he? And just what you're getting nowadays, which you arguably didn't get when he first went to Manchester United, was end product with all the tricks.
Neville. Boateng has it. Marker somehow managed to find Viduka. Rio Ferdinand into Ronaldo, quickly to Rooney, who was looking for the return but didn't play the ball precisely. Catamar. Tarnaby drove it. Boateng. And O'Shea having words with Catamar.
Yeah, Catamar just barged into the back of O'Shea, and I think Boateng's hurt himself in the challenge. 2 against 1, and Middlesbrough came off worse.
So important for Middlesbrough, Boateng. Their record without him in the side really doesn't bear comparison to when he plays.
Yeah, apparently there's an unbelievable stat about that, isn't there?
After you.
Just a pity we don't know it.
Carried a knee injury as well this season, Boateng.
He was just caught, I think, with a flailing left hand from John O'Shea, purely accidental. Yeah, just catches him here.
Yeah. There is another impressive stat about Middlesbrough in the Cup, though, Mark. They're unbeaten here since 1998 in this competition, since Arsenal beat them in the 4th round. And the move to the Riverside really has transformed a club that had a history but not a pedigree of reaching finals. 5 finals in all competitions since the move here 12 years ago.
2 words, Jonathan. Steve Gibson.
Middlesbrough chairman, who was a recent recipient of a very prestigious award up here, the John Fotheringham Award from the North West Football Writers Association for services to North East sports.
is so nice for the Middlesbrough place to play in front of a full house. How many times do we come here and we see rows upon rows of empty red seats?
It's not quite a capacity crowd, and it's a sellout. I'll explain why Manchester United haven't been allowed to take up the entire South Stand allocation for safety reasons, because they tend to stand during games. Here's Vidic. And Larson with the take. Take. He's lost out here to Larson again. Behind O'Shea, Carrick is there. Manchester United, of course, missing Paul Scholes today, suspended. Ainsa. Drifting in behind Rooney. Perhaps he saw a run of Ryan Giggs on the far side, but Middlesbrough clear anyway. Downing to Boateng. Barker. And Jonathan with Giggs. Pogatex. Come out by Ferdinand. Season has been in stark comparison to their first. They won 5 of their opening 22 games. They've lost just to one of their last 14 since the turn of the year, adapting to Gareth Southgate's methods perhaps.
Well, also I think he's changed slightly as well. He was rather defensive when he started off for obvious reasons, trying obviously make themselves difficult to beat, but rather more attacking to them now and utilising the likes of Yakubu, Viduka and Downing.
Viduka to Downing. Ferdinand clears. They played a back 3 against United here in the league in December. They were playing that style then. It's all changed now. This is O'Shea. Carrick. Ainsa.
The thing about that, you don't really want to waste Woodgate in a 3, do you?
Vidic brings it out. It crashed off Boateng. Ryan Giggs. Ronaldo's made a run through the middle and gets there ahead of Pogatex. And is brought down.
Well, they can't complain about that. That was a foul, Cattermole.
Bit naive from the young Middlesbrough player.
Well, Pogatex had done really well because he closed him down and trying to force him away from Middlesbrough's goal, and then in comes Cattermole and just knocks him over. Trying to say he got the ball.
Turns 19 years of age in 11 days' time. It was a young and naive tackle. Not that Rockcliffe Academy has turned out some promising players over the last 2.5 years or so. Now, Vidic is in the middle. Giggs and Ronaldo stand over it. O'Shea's in the middle too. Ferdinand towards the near post. It was poor. And, Downing got the touch. Ince is the last man back. And a big booming pass to Larson. O'Shea. Here's Cattermole. Misplaced header. Away to O'Shea. It's a good touch to Giggs. Ronaldo's come to the left. Or stayed on the left, I should say, since the free kick. Rooney, O'Shea. Middlesbrough with 9 men back behind the ball then. This is Gary Neville. Rooney was underneath it, but so too was Parnaby. Ronaldo has kept it in against Cattermole. Always a threat, and the crowd rises every time Middlesbrough look for him. It's Manchester United on top, and this is Giggs to Rooney. Ronaldo's wide. Rooney went for it and scores. Midway through the first half, it's a deserved lead for Manchester United. Middlesbrough 0, Manchester United 1, and just as he did against Middlesbrough in round 4 2 years ago, Wayne Rooney has scored against them.
Well, that's a class finish, isn't it? And Giggs gets the ball and has a little look, waits for the run of Rooney, and you know straight away Rooney's going to cut inside, work himself the angle. Just Giggs comes onto it here, he waits and waits. Perfect pass, loads of pace, into Rooney, middle of the goals, great finish. I mean, it's so good, Jonathan, but it's also so simple.
It's his first goal since the end of January, first in 8 games. And he has won 33 matches of the previous 35 in which he scored. And now you look back on that early chance Middlesbrough had, the Downing shot saved by Kuszczak, and think how important it was.
Yeah, it was, indeed. And the thing as well is, from Sir Alex Ferguson's point of view, he's playing Rooney on the left to cut inside and score.
But Middlesbrough have a free kick. Viduka and Yakubu in there. Pogatetz has gone forward as well. And apart from Larsson, Manchester United all back behind the ball. Downing's free kick.
It was a waste, wasn't it?
Ronaldo. O'Shea. Ainsa. Carrick. Got it and gave it easily to O'Shea. Nothing fancy about it. Giggs on to Larsson. Part of it. That's a Borough throw.
It's another side of Larsson's game now, closing the defenders down.
Southgate recently voted in a poll up here, Middlesbrough's finest ever captain as a manager. Can he bring his side back into this one now?
Look, Gabby!
Viduka to Yakubu on this foul. Vidic slipped into him. Had a very strong season. Hasn't had a great week, but he's had a very strong season. And when I say hasn't had a great week, Mark, they won at Liverpool and they're through to the next stage of the Champions League.
You're changing your mind then?
Yakubu has come into a deep position here. Very, very deep to have a run. Viduka did exactly the same. Handed away by Carrick, and this is Ronaldo. Marker's there with him. And he dug in. And Ronaldo says, "Ta-ta, see you later." And off he goes. Schwarzer found it fairly comfortable in there.
What a way to relieve the pressure. Defend your own free kick. And you run some 80, 90 yards. Past a couple of players, inside you come and get a shot on goal. Such a fantastic weapon to have.
Manchester United travelling support here has been magnificent. We're singing for hours. Forward by Taylor. Yakubu. Pogatetz to Woodgate. For Viduka. Into the path of Yakubu, was a little bit slow in arriving. Ainsa, Giggs, Manchester United winning command. Rooney looking for Giggs again. Woodgate's there. And this is Rooney. Ainser. Off Cattermole. There is this criticism that English players can only play in a 4-4-2 or most comfortable in a 4-4-2. Rooney seems to be comfortable wherever you stick him.
He's such a good player, fantastic football brain.
Giggs, Ainser, and here is Wayne Rooney. By Taylor, now down. Arthur. Boateng made a run through the inside right position but wasn't seen. To Viduka. Leo Ferdinand turning the quicker. Confident enough to touch it to Kuszczak. Woodgate. Boateng to Arca. Yakubu. Shea going with him. He did enough. There are fans roaring that it should have been a free kick, but this is Carrick. Ainser. Woodgate has lost out to Larson. O'Shea to Ronaldo. Look at the control, just the one touch to bring it down. Schwarzer got there in front of Larson.
You just feel with Middlesbrough, Jonathan, they need to get the three best players into the game here, or certainly the three most effective going forward. Viduka, Yakubu and Downing. At the moment, they can't get enough service to them.
They started so brightly with the Downing run into the box. It was found with a lovely pass. Kuszczak made the telling save. And that remains their only effort on the United goal. And now Boateng takes up the charge. Vidic blocked off that route. Wayne Rooney scoring for the 13th time this season. Had a look up.
So clinical, wasn't it?
And found the gap. Throw and by Viduka. Oh, Yakubu's got the turn away. That's a splendid save by Kuszczak, and we've seen time and time again, once Yakubu gets into that position, he needs a very little back lift and he can really crack the ball.
Well, he just turned, I think it was Ferdinand, wasn't it? Just used all his power and all his strength. Just from a throw and a flick on by Viduka. Look, just the wrong side. Ferdinand's thinking about trying to pinch the ball off him. In the end, good save by Kuszczak.
Middlesbrough stepping it up a little bit. Cattermole, Boateng and Arca. Half an hour play. Yakubu. Downing showed too much of it to Gary Neville, and Ronaldo has it. Glides, he sails, he draws tackles.
Well, you could just see the intent with Arca. Well done, the referee as well. Might have been tempted to give him a yellow, but just give him a warning. That's a couple. Next time it is yellow.
Always knew what he was going to do there, Arca.
It's a let-off for Manchester United though from a throw-in.
He scored plenty of goals like that, Yakubu. Neville. And this is O'Shea. It's gone all the way through to Rooney. Woodgate had to stretch. And clouded out by Boateng. Viduka should win it against Ainser. And he's won the foul. Always favourite there, Mark Viduka, 6'2", 14.5 stone. Downing's come into a more central position. Not by O'Shea. Rooney. Ainser. Vidic to Rio Ferdinand. Ainser. Giggs. O'Shea. Ainser. Giggs and Larson. Finds Carrick. Really good teamwork by Manchester United. Movement off the ball into space. Short passing movement to feet. Carrick. Giggs. Carrick again. And now Ronaldo to have the more direct run. Neville's in here. Gary Neville. Oh, he pulled it back behind Ronaldo. He had other options too. And maybe Middlesbrough can now break. Downing. Yakubu. Catamol. Ballooned pass, difficult for Downing. He's kept it in. Mark Viduka. Marker. Boateng has it. Downing's come in off the left-hand touchline. He was waiting in space for a long while. Taylor keeps it in. In comes the cross. Put it away by Ferdinand. Almost like slow motion back in there then.
Well, it was, because we thought for a moment that Manchester United thought that the ball had gone out, didn't they? And they never really reacted to it. No doubt about Middlesbrough. They're on real danger's coming down from the left, isn't it?
Manning will take their second corner. Boateng, free header, and well saved in the end by Kushaka. Well dealt with from Catamol's not on it, straight at him, to be fair.
Poor marking from Manchester United, a free header there on the back of the throw-in chance for Yakubu.
Better spell by Middlesbrough, certainly. There's Carrick. Rooney chases. Only Larson in the middle as he looks up. O'Shea was arriving. He was allowed to come a long way. Taylor blocks it off.
Just feel Middlesbrough find it very, very difficult to contain the pace and the movement. Ronaldo, Giggs, Larson, Natal, it's been really, really difficult for them. Rooney also.
Giggs with a corner for Manchester United. Larson, as he looks up there, is at the near post. Vidic and Ferdinand in there too. O'Shea's always a danger at set pieces. Nearly came through to him. And that's Rooney, with his own player O'Shea. That's Carrick. O'Shea was in there again. Larson, it bounced up. Tentative appeals, I don't think it hit a hand. And eventually the pressure relieved by Jonathan Woodgate.
Just as well, I think he was in the middle of two Manchester United players. Had to get a vital touch on it.
Just as Middlesbrough string some sort of pattern of play together, so Manchester United grows strong again. Ronaldo's corner. Rooney again in a deep position. Here's Gary Neville, never scored away. Thanks for Ryan Giggs, who's onside. Oh, he hit the post. Struck it beautifully, left foot volley. Neville again. And now Ferdinand. Oh, look at the space here for Gary Neville. Three men in the middle. He was looking for Ryan Giggs, I think.
Yeah, he was weighted in the end, but how good is this corner if it's meant? Everybody was piled into the penalty area, and so well worked this is. Great ball into Giggs, and he's done everything asked of him. Back where it came from, finish across the goalkeeper. Middlesbrough will be hoping that might be a turning point.
Won the Cup 4 times, Ryan Giggs. The League 8 times. Could create a new record this season. Taylor. Oh, Vidic's got a touch. Was he pushed by Yakubu? It's a goal kick anyway, I think.
I think there's a nudge in the back. Yeah, there's a push.
Giggs has played in 6. Used economically in this run. He didn't play against Reading in the last round. Viduka. Mills in a wide position, then coming in off the line. He's blocked by O'Shea. He's covered a lot of ground again. Carnaby with the throw. Yakubu. Arca. Taylor. And Downey. Here's Woodgate. A little bit of time. The last touch was from Viduka. It's a Manchester United throw.
Since Downing got in behind Gary Neville from the pass from Arca, Neville's never been more than 2 feet away from him, has he?
So Woodgate. A little bit awkward for Schwarzer. Here's Giggs. Off Arca, and has it again. Rio Ferdinand is down for Manchester United. The referee, I think, asked Julio Arca to get it out. His head there, Mark.
Yeah, I didn't see the incident in all honesty. Very sporting of Middlesbrough though. Didn't have to knock it out.
Best centre-half pairing this season, Ferdinand and Vidic, would you say?
For Manchester United or generally?
No, generally.
Yes.
His best season in a Manchester United shirt, Rio Ferdinand. And you think he started last season being booed at Old Trafford, and certainly won over the fans again. And he didn't play any pre-season football last season, did he? He's stronger this campaign. Let's see if we can see anything here.
It's not his head, is it? Well, bemused as to what that is exactly.
Well, they have Wes Brown on the bench, but they can ill afford any more injuries at this stage. Do you think their current problems really will be detrimental to their Premiership success, Manchester United, the injury problems they have?
Well, of course everybody knows Larsson goes back today. I mean, Smith's obviously not match fit, Saha out at the moment, Solskjaer also out. You just worry if anything happens to Rooney.
This is Yakubu, there with Ferdinand.
He's not moving well, Ferdinand, Jonathan. He's holding his leg again there.
4 minutes to go in the first half. Manchester United will want to get him in the dressing room and have a look. This is Carrick. Very strong run. And he finds Larsson. Rooney is away to his left-hand side there now. And then Carnaby. Not moving perfectly, is it? Silvestre out for the season with his shoulder problems. Solskjaer and Saha should be back for the Blackburn Rovers game at the end of the month, and Scholes, of course, is serving a 3-match ban. Evra, he has a hamstring injury. Goes O'Shea, but he was beaten by Viduka. This is Yakubu. Ryan Giggs has it. Really important 3 minutes here in the game. Feeding Larsson. Pogatetz was there. Says he's worked to curb his temper this year, Pogatetz. He has the 9 yellow cards. But to be fair, I mean, some of his behaviour last season was rather rash. Giggs. And still going. Went to place it, blocked by Woodgate. Manchester United's fourth corner of the half. Woodgate will be crucial here for Middlesbrough. Can't concede again this side of half-time. Played short to Ainsa. Little touch by Giggs. Boateng's there. Yakubu. Katamol. Viduka. Here's Downing from Taylor, who's continued his run on the Borough left-hand side. It's Arca though now. Only Taylor gets it. Viduka. Arca. Get the crossing finally from young Taylor. Kuszczak came for it, was headed away by Ferdinand. Back into the mix. Just over a minute before the half-time whistle. And the youngster ties it up. Middlesbrough 1, Manchester United 1. Poor defending at the back between Manchester United centre-back and the goalkeeper. A misunderstanding. And what a moment for Katamol. It's only his second of the season.
I just think the fact that Kuszczak comes and in the end just completely knocks Rio Ferdinand out of the way, and it leaves Katamol completely free. He does extremely well, man. Little header in back at Julio Arca, and Katamol really, he acts like a centre forward. One touch to get it out of his feet, swivel, volley, equaliser.
Lovely finish by the Middlesbrough teenager. He was the young man who cried, you remember, last season when they were beaten here by Aston Villa out of sight. And in the meantime, they picked up an injury in the build-up to that. Yakubu, you saw flattened in the 6-yard area, he's back on. 1-1, game on. And I don't think Manchester United ever really recovered from the injury to Rio Ferdinand.
No, the other thing as well, Jonathan, you can't really blame Rio Ferdinand there. He's gone to head it, and the goalkeeper's come and caught everybody, including Ferdinand. And Ferdinand just really doesn't have enough time to react, and when he does, he just goes on the line quite naturally because he doesn't know where the goalkeeper is.
Ainsa, 2 minutes of stoppage time. Larson bounce back to him off the referee Rob Stiles. Arca. Viduka. One back by the persistent Larson. It's going to be a yellow card for Henrik Larsson for diving.
Well, the referee was in a fantastic position to spot this. It was the old step over, wasn't it? Right, and there he goes.
Last competitive game in England. I think it's his first yellow card in England.
He's not complaining. Well, that goal will make all the difference to Gareth Southgate's half-time team talk. Completely changes it. He's just scribbling his notes out now, look.
Paul Xavier, one of the substitutes, you can see him in the background.
Thought it was King Neptune.
Completely different game we have now. It's a Manchester United free kick.
Took his goal superbly well, Katamol.
Well, he was a doubt, you know, up until yesterday, and Southgate was thinking of maybe playing James Morrison instead, who's a more genuine wide player. It's headed away by Taylor. And Downing couldn't keep it in. We've had the 2 minutes of first half stoppage time. United look for Larsson. Well, that could have gone anywhere. And rather fortunately for Middlesbrough, the half-time whistle blows just as we were saying. Middlesbrough couldn't afford to concede a second to Wayne Rooney's goal for Manchester United in the 23rd minute. Up pops Lee Katamol at the other end to make it 1-1, with probably the most important goal he'll score for a long, long while. And it really sets up a splendid second half here at the Riverside. At half-time in this FA Cup quarter-final, it's Middlesbrough 1, Manchester United 1.
1-1 here, all set up for a decent second half.
Yes.
And I think we should do this at half-time where we have a little Ronaldo corner.
You love Ronaldo.
I love watching him play.
I'll tell you what, all the great sides have had great players, but also this boy has turned into a terrific outlet. If you go back to the goal, 88th minute against Fulham, where he's picked up in his own half and he's run forward. When he picks it up here and he keeps on running, you know that he's going to be in possession. He's got quick feet, he's got pace in abundance, and he's just a great player. He really is.
I just think you need to relax a bit. He seems to be uptight to me all the time.
He plays with his smile.
Oh, he's brilliant. He's absolutely fantastic.
This is the one, Gary, you're under the cosh here. He's maybe 3-4 run about him. You know that he's either going to get brought down here or he's going to go flying past somebody.
And do you know what? Maybe a year, 2 years ago, he would have probably went down in that situation. He's shown great strength. Great upper body strength. He eventually does get fouled, but he's riding challenges now, which he never saw 2 years ago.
Lacks a bit of skill.
That's what it is. He's uptight, isn't he? Look. The people love to see that, though, don't they, Saturday on? They love to see a little bit.
Gary Palace has said I could do that. Not me, you.
In training, maybe, not on a big stage.
Not with his left
foot. He's a brilliant player, and obviously the goals that he scored as well.
Oh, wonderful.
Fantastic for Manchester.
So the managers at half-time, what are they saying? Different moods to what they thought 5 minutes before half-time.
Southgate will be absolutely delighted with his players, the reaction. They've been under the cosh for such a long time and they've come back into it. Alex, I think, will be going ballistic in the dressing room, simply because for him the game should have been won.
Yeah, Gareth will be delighted. If I would be saying, look, you've got two big players up front. Ferdinand's took a knock. The keeper's at fault for the first goal. Get the ball into the box and let them fight and scrap for it.
If you could just wipe the creosote off your backside, what do you think?
I think he wants his lads to get closer to Manchester United, Gareth. You know what I mean? They've passed them to death in the first half. You might change it around. You might put Cattermole in there in the middle, just get a bit more competitive, take Arker off. I don't know whether that's a case, but they need to get closer to Manchester United.
I think the big thing for Bud is don't try and outplay them.
Yeah.
Don't outplay them, because you won't.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Back to Mark Lawrenson and Jonathan Pearce.
Thanks very much, Gary. No changes at half-time for either side. Rio Ferdinand seems to be okay now for Manchester United, despite that late scare towards the end of the first half. And it'll be Middlesbrough to kick us off at the start of the second half. Don't forget that Cattermole and Arker passed tests earlier on in the week and trained fully yesterday, and it was Cattermole's goal. There he is, the teenager wearing 27, who tied it up at 1-1 just before half-time. So it's Middlesbrough in the red, kicking from right to left in this second half, away from the Manchester United 3,500 supporters. Ainser, one of Manchester United's changes today, forward, and Woodgate clears it away. Cattermole, Boateng, Arker, CC in the middle, and Downing. And Downing gets the cross away, once again testing Kuszczak in the air. Cattermole. It's a corner kick to Middlesbrough, and immediately they tested him in the air.
They did, and also classic wing play by Downing, just slowed Neville down to get his half a yard and get his crossing, and Kuszczak wasn't very near it, was he?
Two splendid first half saves, as we've heard and seen at half time. He needs to be strong in the air now. Downing with the corner kick. Keeper didn't come for it. Boateng, it's in, it's 2-1 to Middlesbrough. They've turned the tie on its head, and the captain scores within 2 minutes of the restart. Middlesbrough 2, Manchester United 1, and a shock now is very much on the cards at the Riverside.
Well, I bet George Boateng can't believe the amount of time and space he has here, because nobody from Manchester United is remotely anywhere near him. He just runs off the back of a few players. You can't blame the goalkeeper. It's just such a free header for Boateng here.
It's his first FA Cup goal since he scored for Coventry against Macclesfield in 1999. Joy for the Middlesbrough skipper. And Manchester United, who seemed totally in control of the game, now have it all to do.
Well, good luck to Middlesbrough. It's such an awful goal to concede, though. Not a hint of a challenge.
He doesn't get many, it's only his 7th for the club. Boateng gives Middlesbrough the lead, a runner-up with Gareth Southgate's Aston Villa as it was then back in 2000. And here's Yakubu. It's a corner to Middlesbrough. And now just listen to the Riverside.
I'll just see if there's any marking this time from Manchester United.
Viduka and Yakubu in the 6-yard area. Catamol making a dart towards the near post. Lanced away, forced back in by Parnaby. And Woodgate's there first. Pogatetz had stayed forward. Ainsa clears. Arca. Boateng. Viduka brings it down. Back to goal, such a strong player. Catamol. The Borough fans thought that Ainsa handballed it. It's a Middlesbrough throw only. His goal just before half-time set the tie alight. Boateng. Need to readjust. Here's Neville. Ferdinand. O'Shea. Ainsa. O'Shea. Carrot. It's been a good tie throughout. It's now a very dramatic one. Larson. Cobbled up by Pogatetz. Ferdinand. Pogatetz won it. Boateng. Catamol. That was a misjudged pass. And Giggs can take up the running for Manchester United. And Parnaby's labouring a little bit to get back at him, but it was a very rare poor cross from Ryan Giggs.
Yeah, it was a poor mistake by Catamol. Played the ball blind in midfield, really. Giggs took advantage of it to a degree, and in the end it's a waste of the cross.
George Boateng's goal sees Middlesbrough leading by 2-1. Keeper came, left out with a washing.
Well, look, no one. All he did was peel off a posse of Manchester United players, and nobody went with him.
Blocked by Arca. Pogatetz. Giggs. Rooney. Ainsa will have to gallop to get there, and does so. Ahead of Parnaby, strong run. Played in behind Rooney though, and Arca can slip it away. Ronaldo. Ooh, was there a push there? Rooney thinks there was. Was it a push or a stumble? Parnaby's header drops. Giggs didn't really hit it. And Middlesbrough somehow survived. Haphazard in that Middlesbrough box, but look at this. Boateng. Viduka. O'Shea left to deal with him. And stabbing it away to Carrick. Ainsa, first time we've really seen him get forward in the game there. Ronaldo with the touch on. Would get away. Ferdinand has time to bring it down neatly. Here's Carrick. To Larsson, and he's onside, but he lacks support. Henrik Larsson shoots straight at Barnaby. Good block by the young Middlesbrough defender.
Well, it's a great ball from Carrick, but how easily did Larson get in there?
Watch for the running of Downing, but Neville read it. It's compelling stuff. O'Shea, driven pass. Ronaldo kept it in expertly. And now looks for Giggs. I think was attempting the dummy and let it run on to Wayne Rooney, but it didn't come off. O'Shea, Carrick. 2 men away there to Manchester United's left touchline. It's played into Giggs. And eventually it's freed to the left. And it was played too high to Ronaldo.
That's what he's complaining about to O'Shea.
Good block by Barnaby.
Was a good block. This is it. Was it a penalty or wasn't it? Seen them given. Your arms on somebody. And it would have been very soft, but we have seen them, haven't we?
I still feel they should have had a penalty at Anfield last weekend. Here's Neville. Downing to Yakubu. Arca. Now Viduka. Came off him last. So rare to see Manchester United caught cold either side of half-time.
Well, in such a manner. They'd had a warning from the throw-in with the Yakubu chance.
Viduka slid in with Gary Neville. It's a Manchester United throw. Real momentum growing about Middlesbrough though in 2007. Manchester United here in round 4. 5 years ago, Whelan and Campbell, we showed you the goals earlier. This would be a very famous victory if Middlesbrough can hold on to it. And another treble for Sir Alex would disappear. But there's a long, long way to go.
We just hope as well from the game's point of view that Middlesbrough don't get in that mindset of holding on. Strides through the middle, but Michael Carrick was tracking him all the way. Taylor stumble. Pogatex. Ferdinand's underneath it. Barker. Yakubu. Looks for Viduka. O'Shea dropped back in there. Munich just swung a boot at it. And has misplaced the header to Catamol. Taylor can drive onto it. And once again, Boateng was in there. Oh, and it was Barnaby. That's a great tackle as well in the midst of this, linked by Vidic. He just throws himself in the way of this ball on the edge of the 18-yard box. Just gets played in here. Here's the shot coming in. He just did a great tackle by Vidic, that is.
Over from Barnaby. Really threw himself into the cause there, Vidic. And in the end, hoisted over from Stuart Barnaby. That's off Pogatex, who fouled Larson. Rooney in this second half is playing in a much more central position. Having been wide on the left throughout the first half. This is Carrick. O'Shea had to readjust. Yates is screaming for the ball on the Manchester United left in absolute acres of space. And Neville finally looks for it. Back to Giggs. 4 white shirts in the penalty area. O'Shea's at the back post. And he fouled. Pushed his man to get the header on.
Good deep cross as well, wasn't it? Really searching one from Middlesbrough's point of view. He's climbing all over him. Southgate's Middlesbrough leading in front
out of 33,348. The highest at the Riverside this season. To get snapped up within hours, they tell me. Ronaldo, Rooney, gigs away to the left-hand side, arriving now, but Barnaby saw a little bit too much of the ball and got in a great tackle. Now Carrick. Neville. Larson coming for it and slipped. Oh, and words between Schwarzer and Pogatetz. Schwarzer was coming for it and Pogatetz didn't leave it, swept it away.
I can only assume that Schwarzer didn't tell Pogatetz.
Manchester United have lost just one in their last 17 games, and that was at Arsenal. Ainser looks for Giggs. Carrick back to him. He had to stretch. It may bounce kindly for Manchester United. Pogatet's got a touch. Neville had to really stretch. And Boateng comes across for Middlesbrough. It's a Manchester United throw. Boateng got there. Rooney, O'Shea, Ainser, Giggs, Ainser, Schwarzer. Well, he was fouled.
Well, he's laughing about it, Larson, isn't he? Did he actually touch him? Slightly.
Right arm was across the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Must have been given for that.
Loved hearing that Lofthouse's view about that.
O'Shea, the battle with Viduka's holding his head. Boateng. Arthur gives it back to him. Neville, an important header that. Ronaldo got it in front of Downing. And finds Rio Ferdinand. Manchester United have now settled back into a rhythm. And they look for Larson. An hour played. It's Middlesbrough who lead though. Ronaldo. Carrick. Ainser looking to play the ball inside Barnaby, finding Giggs, but it had too much weight on it.
Yeah, it was also curling towards the goalkeeper, Jonathan, rather than away from him.
Certainly not first choice left back this season. The injured Evra has taken that role, and there has been whispered speculation about Ainser's future. Boateng, Cattermole. Boateng into Yakubu. Lost that turn, doesn't he, but he fell over.
And he did fall as well.
Ferdinand. Giggs, Rooney, lovely run but offside. Love to see that one again.
Yeah, but Schwarzer was there, wasn't he? Came out very, very, very quickly. Oof.
Look at the line of light grass. I think he may be just offside. Very, very close.
You sure about that?
And I had the benefit of a replay. The assistant referee didn't have that. Oh, Yakubu couldn't get to it.
Just slipped, didn't he? Just slipped. He knew where it was going as well.
He winds up, doesn't he, as well on those half turns. But Carrick now looks for Rooney. Came off Woodgate and Schwarzer keeps it in. Clearance straight to O'Shea. Ainser. Giggs. Middlesbrough can't sit back, protect a 2-1 lead against Manchester United surely. Rooney looking for Ainser, off Pogatetz. Won back well by Carrick. O'Shea. Giggs. Rooney.
Just gives Middlesbrough a little bit of time to reorganise themselves at the moment. Very much a case of Manchester United have got them trapped in.
Last Wembley, losing captain in an FA Cup final, Gareth Southgate. Middlesbrough playing the 37th game of their season. Manchester United played a dozen or so more, a half dozen more. Ainsa. Sprayed up by O'Shea to Ronaldo. Not too sure what Larsson's trying to do there.
I think Larsson made the run and showed, but I think as Ronaldo played the pass, one of the Middlesbrough players just flicked it away from Larsson.
Viduka with a touch on to Yakubu. Again, good understanding between the pair, and now Downing. William Arca. Blocked by O'Shea. Carrick immediately looks for Larsson. The touch to Rooney, and Larsson was setting sail looking for the turn. And Rooney has stayed down, looking at the referee. Rob Stiles was having none of it. Rooney's holding the bottom of his right leg. He's okay now. Boateng, foul by Ryan Giggs as they both turn.
And Rooney's just about to have a word with the referee, or more than one.
So rich in promise when he put Manchester United ahead halfway through the first half. Catamol just before the break, and Boateng just after it. Middlesbrough this lead, and they look for Viduka. Ronaldo pulled it down well and now can turn away. Poked it a little bit too far ahead. Barker comes across and won it well. Looks to use it for Middlesbrough. Taylor up to Viduka. Trying to launch it wide to Parnaby. Woodgate has to come in. Now Ainsa. It's going nowhere. Michael Carrick. And it's at moments like this where you realise how much they miss Paul Scholes.
Well, and think about it, Jonathan. We talked about the slight lack of strikers at the moment. No Saha, Solskjaer as well. Really, apart from Alan Smith on the bench, very much untried and untested in the last few months. We haven't got a lot else.
Carrick, blocked by Woodgate. Marker for Viduka. Vidic was there with a little flicked header. Now Ainsa can pick up the running. O'Shea. Movement on the Manchester United bench. This is Cristiano Ronaldo. Gary Neville. You can see Alan Smith warming up there at the bottom of your picture. Ronaldo has it. Left foot cross, Pogatex. Ferdinand gets there first. Ronaldo. Plenty of bodies forward for Manchester United. Deflected off Barker. It's a corner despite Schwartz's efforts. Alan Smith has only played 201 minutes of football this season. The one start, having broken his leg at Liverpool back in February of last year. Manchester United's fifth corner of the game, first of the second half. Giggs takes it. Oh, that hit it. And did it? Rob Stiles got a penalty! George Boateng, having scored at one end, has given away a penalty at the other. And Middlesbrough's players surround the referee.
Well, I'll tell you what, this happens so quickly, because there's a flick header in front of Boateng. and he just puts his hands up to stop it going into his face. In the eyes of the law, the referee's probably right.
Defended his face, blocked it. Rob Stiles had a clear view. A great roar went up from the fans, and then deathly silence.
Well, I think the roar went for the Manchester United fans at that end.
Ronaldo for Manchester United. An intriguing FA Cup tie. This for 2-2. Schwartz have beaten Manchester United level.
Well, he takes this extremely coolly, doesn't he? He just waited and waited for Schwarzer, and then Schwarzer waited for him. Minimum of steps. I mean, Boateng will probably think himself a little unlucky, Jonathan, but it's both hands as well. Good penalty.
All of Ronaldo's goals have come in the league. And he gets his FA Cup goal. His 17th strike of the season. His first in the FA Cup since the semi-final of 2005 against Newcastle. Oh, but he's fouled his man there. Interesting that Rob Stiles seemed to just wait, pause, consider what he'd seen, and then give the penalty.
Yeah. And people will argue he was so close, Boateng, to the Manchester United player who flicked the ball on, but it's definitely both hands, not just one.
Viduka with a head on. Carrick. The pendulum swings again. Giggs. O'Shea. Rooney. Giggs again. Looking for Larson. Pogatetz is there with him. Is he given a foul or a corner here?
Corner, I think he's given. Larson just made sure he got his body in front of Pogatetz.
Again, Manchester United with quality passing there, as they showed throughout the first half, and then totally lost it for a period with defensive mistakes. But they are on top again now. O'Shea forward alongside Ronaldo. Ain't in there as well on the penalty spot. Catamol with the clearance. Ooh, very, very deep.
Optimistic, shall we say.
Rooney over the top. Manchester United back into it because of Boateng's handball. Flick on is by Ferdinand Mark.
It's two hands, isn't it?
Ducked his head.
Ducked his head, but raised his hands, unfortunately.
To Middlesbrough.
Great skill by Arca, wasn't it? And Ronaldo as well, of all people.
Clever player. I think Sunderland fans never really saw the best out of him, but he was a bit of a folk hero there nonetheless. Downing with the free kick straight down the throat of Kuszczak. And the quick release, looking for Rooney. Holds it up for Manchester United. Ronaldo. Giggs. Larson in the middle. Blocked. Now Rooney. Pushed over by Boateng. How cruel football can be. Elation for George Boateng and then desperation. The young man of Premiership football management, Gareth Southgate, against the master this afternoon. Gareth Southgate, another Middlesbrough, had Manchester United allegiances when he was a boy. This will pain him if Ronaldo can score from here. We know his capabilities. 18 minutes to go. Rob Stiles making sure the wall is back.
Yeah, O'Shea having a confrontation with Boateng. This is the one he hits and tries to dip and swerve with pace and power.
And this FA Cup ball can fly. A pivotal moment perhaps in the treble bid. It flew, but wide.
Trouble the goalkeeper, did it? At any time.
No one has had more shots for Manchester United than Ronaldo this season. Pass the ball, he said.
Always helps.
Well, they won't want a replay on Monday, March the 19th.
I'm just going to ask you what happens with that if Manchester City draw at Blackburn.
Well, at the moment, so many games are being postponed because of the Champions League as well. The Easter Monday fixtures have been devastated, and games are piling up. Away by Ainsley. Danger here for Manchester United. Viduka was there, but he was leaning down.
Yeah, he was pushing, I think. I don't know if you saw the movement of the goalkeeper, Jonathan Kushat. He came to sort of think about coming for it and then decided not to bother in the end.
O'Shea. Well, Sir Alex Ferguson will not be pleased with that.
Passing the ball, guys! He's passing, Michael! That's play!
The game's coming thick and fast over the next 70-odd days. Keep passing the ball, you heard the message. Bogatex. Middlesbrough hit long. Rio Ferdinand's underneath it. We're into the last 15 minutes. Boateng to Arca. Play on. Manchester United stream downfield. Giggs in full flight. Rooney ahead of him. And has it. And in the end, the snapshot lacked any sort of precision.
I think Middlesbrough are claiming there's a foul as well in the middle of the pitch. And I think Carrick was in there holding his face. That's where they claim the foul. Hurt himself with a tackle, Michael Carrick.
Ronaldo's penalty, the only effort Manchester United had on target in this second half. Carrick still holding his face.
Yeah. Gary Neville's got one in the side as well, I think, from Viduka. But he's not trying to waste time, Michael Carrick, because he was originally injured and down. That's the one he just got caught by a flailing arm. But he was injured and down while Manchester United were attacking.
Just got flicked in the eye.
Yeah, a bit like Boateng, I think, wasn't it?
Taylor with the throw. Arca. Woodgate. Tarnaby. Saw the run of Yakubu, but so did O'Shea. Tarnaby with the throw for Middlesbrough. Which climbed the highest. Boateng is there, tussling with Ainsa. The assistant referee had a very good view of it, and in the end gives United the free kick.
Well, it's a silly foul in the end, but what Middlesbrough are complaining about, they thought the ball had gone out of play. That's what their complaint is, not the foul at the end. And it hadn't.
Kept in play by the Argentinian defender who was fouled by Boateng. Middlesbrough surely aren't facing another replay every round this season. Not the finest moment for Kusha. Held by Hull, Bristol City and West Brom this season. Middlesbrough already.
I think they're looking to make a change, Middlesbrough as well, Jonathan.
Misplaced out of there by Taylor. Larson reacted the quickest. Woodgate mops up. Down it. Arca. Manchester United are second for that. Gareth Southgate's thinking of a change for Middlesbrough. Larson. At long last, Gabriel Aintz's surging runs have been picked up. And here's Giggs. Into Larson, back to Ainz. Wayward.
I think had a surging rush of blood.
Carrick's back on the pitch for Manchester United after having treatment for that eye problem. But Middlesbrough any moment now are going to send on James Morrison.
Probably Catamol, is it? Straight swap.
Yeah, he's been sub in the last 4 matches. Good effort late on against West Brom in the Cup in the last round. FA Youth Cup winner for Middlesbrough. England youth player, although Gordon McQueen has tipped him to play for Scotland.
Well, the thing about him is, well, exactly the same position as Catamol, but far more adventurous in terms of going forward.
Another product of Middlesbrough's academy. O'Shea was fouled. He's unhappy there, isn't he?
Well, Boateng never even attempted to play the ball. He just went and just got in O'Shea's face, basically.
A good game, Rob Skiles. Manchester United will think they might have had a penalty when Rooney went down. I think he's been strong. Ronaldo. Ronaldo was dumped late. And I think it was a tackle born out of frustration for young Andrew Taylor. Had been tormented and teased.
Well, he blocked his run-off, Taylor did, which is a silly foul to give away in this position.
Ronaldo now takes up a position on the penalty spot as Giggs prepares to take this free kick with 10 minutes to go. And Manchester United win it here. And towards Ferdinand's flick to the far post. Viduka concedes the corner.
No option ready for the striker back over his defence. Can't take the risk.
Apart from a couple of moments, Viduka and Yakubu combining, Manchester United have dealt with that threat well. It's their 7th corner kick of the game. Giggs will swing it away. Looking for Vidic. It's a good header out. It slithers in. Vidic is there. Middlesbrough can't understand why a free kick wasn't given, but from here, long way away, looked like a fair tackle.
Looked like Giggs got the ball, certainly. Why they went through the back of Morrison is the question, really.
This is Gary Neville. Carrot. O'Shea. high for Wayne Rooney, he really couldn't do anything with it. Schwartz's clearance to Ainsa. I think he got a touch and the assistant referee agrees.
It was a late agreement as well, by the way, from the referee's assistant. Ainsa's just had a word with him.
He brought his foot down. Not too sure he didn't make contact there at all, you know. Barnaby's throw. Viduka trying to get on the outside of John O'Shea. Morrison linking up. Forcing the corner for Middlesbrough.
They need to stick this right in the middle of the 6-yard box. Just see what Manchester United's goalkeeper does.
Well, we said it at one end, we'll say it at this end. Can Middlesbrough win the tie here? It is on a knife edge. Downing with the cross. All the way through there again. United's defence hesitant once more with the ball in the air. Schwarzer. Viduka called, looks for Yakubu. Vidic. Ainsa. Rooney's underneath that one. Clever header to Ronaldo. Larson gives chase. And it's cleared by Taylor. Here's Ronaldo. Ooh, had venom. Hit Taylor. Gary Neville. Carrick. Too high through the box. Barnaby away. Vidic and Yakubu there. And the free kick goes the way of Nemanja Vidic.
I think Yakubu just pulls him back, quite simply. I mean, the crowd don't like it, but and argue with the facts.
Neatly brought down by Taylor into Mark Viduka. Morrison's away to the top of your picture there, making that burst. Pogatetz. Ferdinand. Carrick has it. 6 of their last 8 ties that could have gone to a replay have gone to a replay, Middlesbrough. And this now is Yakubu. Rio Ferdinand got it away. Boateng releases Barnaby. Morrison is wide. 2 men in the middle. Looks for the young midfielder off Ainsa.
Might just be worth Barnaby sticking that in straight away.
Barnaby's throw. Viduka underneath it. Vidic rose. Arca didn't bounce for him, but he manages to get it wide once again. Ainsa got the challenge in. Boateng. Viduka with the touch off, comes back to him again. He's wriggled his way through. Mark Viduka, super block by Ferdinand in the poke, straight at Kushat.
Viduka did brilliantly, didn't he? He just kept going.
Barnaby stayed forward. It was he who had the shot. Larson. Ronaldo. Manchester United breaking. Can they finish it here? Ronaldo. He overran it. Arca was there with a telling side-saving challenge. It is pulsating and end-to-end and unpredictable. Yakubu. Arca arriving. It came off Ainsa.
That's a good tackle. The crowd are baying for blood, but it's a good, strong challenge by Ainsa.
Pogatetz. Boateng brought it down. Taylor. Up to Yakubu. Didn't he take it well? Viduka. Morrison. Yakubu. Viduka. Shot deflected away off Vidic. It's a corner to Middlesbrough.
I want to or two people in this stadium as well claiming for handball.
And Viduka's looked across at the bench and he's seen that Middlesbrough are warming up Donguk Lee. It could be his last chance for a goal. Ainsa clears. High back in there from Taylor, looking at Viduka. United dealt with it well. Arca. Splendid block by Ainsa. And off Carrick, and the pressure is still on. Taylor's throw, back to him. Yakubu looks for Viduka. And here's Rooney. 2 minutes to go, plus a little bit of stoppage time. Manchester United throw. And Middlesbrough displeased.
Yeah, mind you, somebody did have a little bit of a nibble at Rooney when he had the ball. He's going mad at his defenders. He was on before, Jonathan, when Manchester United attacking, berating Ferdinand and Vidic.
Now Viduka departs. And he's going to be replaced by the South Korean international striker, Donguk Lee. He came close to scoring on his debut against Reading. And they're also going to make another substitution here. Jason Yule's going to come on for George Boateng, who has had a sweet and sour second half. Manchester United look for Ronaldo.
Just thinking, not counting our chickens here, but if it does go to a replay, that'd be an awful lot of players in the England squad involved on the Monday before they're away in Tel Aviv on the Saturday.
Rebel, Ferdinand, Rooney, Carrick,
Woodgate, Downing,
Kieran Richardson perhaps. Shaq. Here's Woodgate. Tron O'Shea. Ryan Giggs. And we're into stoppage time at the Riverside. Ainsa down. 3 minutes of stoppage time to be played.
That's a foul that Morrison's caught. He's caught Ainsa and not caught the ball, basically.
Very good cup tie.
That's been an excellent cup tie, hasn't it? Had a bit of everything.
Ainsa.
Good refereeing also as well.
Big curling cross by Giggs. Safe handling by Schwarzer.
Well, not only that, John, I think he had Pogatetz to deal with as well. A difficult one.
But he came for it and made sure it was his, whereas at the end of the first half, Kushak failed to do that for Manchester United. This is Ronaldo. Carrick. Ainsa. Carrick. Too far for Ryan Giggs. Carrick quickly on. Larson. Ainsa. Holding off the challenge of Woodgate. That's offside.
Gareth Southgate just waving everybody up there.
Carrick got a touch. Pogatetz has gone forward for Middlesbrough. He's got an advanced position and he's stayed up. He's going to amble back now. Here he comes. Centre of your picture. Downing underneath it. It was now that Ronaldo was somewhere behind him. He's given it to Carrick, and that switch to Giggs. In towards Rooney. Splendid defending by Woodgate. Giggs, Woodgate again. Twice he got into valuable positions.
His positioning as well was excellent, both occasions.
And now what can Middlesbrough do here with the substitute? Dongukli. How many people are up watching this in South Korea? It's about 3:30 in the morning, I'd say. There is it 4 o'clock, something like that in the morning. With Yi Sung Park, the Manchester United squad these days, of course. The full-time whistle blows at the Riverside. Another FA Cup draw for Middlesbrough and Gareth Southgate, but he'll know his team were outplayed in the first half by Sir Alex's Manchester United. Wayne Rooney giving United the lead in the 23rd minute. They were in control with Ronaldo buzzing. Catamoldo equalised one side of the half-time. Boateng put Middlesbrough ahead straight after the interval, and then Ronaldo's penalty in the 68th minute sends the sides back to Old Trafford for the replay on Monday, March the 19th. It will have an impact on England and their vital European Championship qualifiers at the Riverside. Middlesbrough 2, Manchester United 2.
So another replay for Manchester United. Not good news for Sir Alex Ferguson, but they could of course have lost. And not good news for the England manager Steve McClaren either, but good performance from Middlesbrough, coming back from a goal down early on. But
very much so. I thought it was a great cup tie. The last 10 minutes was